Welcome to another gorgeous day and another day of Dose of Did You Know, where intriguing, inspiring, unique individuals come to talk love and life and how it has brought them all the way to where they are today. And with me is the gorgeous, spicy, and I have to say, I was listening to your song, "The Bed You Made." Is that the correct title?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm listening and I literally said out loud, "Holy F," but I didn't say F. I actually said the whole entire F
I wouldn't judge you if you did.
word. Yeah, because you blew my socks off. I was like, whoa, wow. She
Thank you.
has a voice on her. So Andrea is with me here today. And before we start talking, tell the world a little bit about who you are.
Yeah, so I'm Andrea Vasquez. Again, thank you so much for having me on here. This is so cool. Um, I feel like I struggle with where I'm really from. I was born in Los Angeles. I grew up in Northern Virginia as a kid though, government family, so we, moved a little bit up there in the north. So I feel like Virginia is definitely where I got my country music inspiration from. Because it's obviously so random to like a lot of the rest of my family back in California. And then I went back to Los Angeles when I was in high school. And yeah, my family's very musical. I grew up always kind of playing instruments as a kid. And then all of my cousins on my dad's side either sing or they're in production, lighting, direction. Everybody does something kind of in the music industry. And I feel like that kind of always was like, oh my God, not only is singing just fun, but you can actually do this as a career. So I feel like as like at a young age, because I had older cousins that did all of that, I always, I didn't necessarily have like a plan B situation of what I wanted to do. I was like, nope, I want to be a performer. That's it. So I came to
Well,
Nashville like 3 years ago.
yeah, they like forge the path that's what you kind of are surrounded around. It makes perfect sense. Like you have the talent, you have
Yeah.
the family around you, the support. So yeah, why not? Oh, I think we're
Really
having some
lucky,
sort of, oh, there
the
we are.
support and nobody to, but yeah, I've always had that nice support, which, you come to find as an adult that is sometimes rare. So that's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so I have to talk about your voice. I think there's like a lag. We're
I hear
having,
you fine.
okay, good. All right, so maybe it's on my end. I don't know. But you have, I was listening, like I said, I was listening to your song, and you really have a powerful, strong voice. Have you always had that? Is
Thank
that
you.
natural, or has it like developed through the years? Like people, you have to go check this out. I'll put the Spotify link in here because I was like, shit, wow.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I guess I've always kind of had that. I think I'm little but loud. I'm like 5 feet tall. So it surprises a lot of people. But yeah, I mean, I grew up kind of, I wouldn't say mimicking, but as a kid, I feel like I grew up mimicking like Christina Aguilera or Carrie Underwood a little later in life. So you learned these like I don't know, I just learned how to belt at a young age, I guess. And then I did go to music school, music college, and studied a little bit more about my voice. So I feel like, with proper training, I kind of learned how to better my voice.
Yeah, it is like you said, you're like all of 5 feet and you have this like extremely powerful voice. I am not the best at describing things, so I'm not even going to try to. It will just like knock your socks off or your shoes, whatever you got on your feet, they will come off. It's that cool. So did you say that you come from a military family? Is that why you moved around?
Not military. My dad worked for the government growing up, or yeah. So that's as much as I got. But I was like, yeah, should probably. But I'm kidding. But yeah, so we moved across like to Northern Virginia. We were always like the only people out of our family out in Northern Virginia. So,
Yeah.
um, Nashville wasn't exactly like a culture shock or anything.
No. So I want to know, like, I got like how the country kind of got in your bones because let me tell you, I moved around a lot growing up, and I don't know, I moved to North Carolina when I was younger and I stayed there till I was 18. and
Hmm.
country music didn't exist in my world. Well, I remember moving down there and I was like, these people talk so fast and with such an accent, I can't even understand what they're
Yeah.
saying to me, Mom. I was like, this is a different language. She's like, no, honey, it's just Southern. And I'm like, no.
Oh, it's a different language.
Yeah, yeah. So like I get how that embeds in you because when you're around it, it kind of becomes part of your soul. Like it's never left me, even though I've been in the North, ever since I was 18 and
Yeah.
I'm 43 now. So that's a long time to be out, but it sticks in you. So how did you incorporate that kind of that Southern piece with that salsa? I don't even know how to describe it. There's like some Latin, some like little blues I hear in there. There's like this unique genre, I feel. Maybe it's your own.
Thank you. I don't know. I mean, I just always really loved country music. Like I just grew up listening to Shania Twain and Faith Hill and the Chicks, Dixie Chicks, and all sort of just awesome, empowering women. So I don't know. And I love how country tells a story, not that other genres don't, but I just love the instrumentation of the music and the production, and it's just honest and it's real. So I don't know. It just always really stuck with me.
Yeah. And then you just added a little bit of your spice. Because, right, isn't that what performers do? They kind of,
Yeah.
you have something and then you add a little bit of you to it. And then that's what creates either awesomeness or maybe not so awesomeness. But in your case, it creates awesomeness.
Thank you.
Is that how you feel like when you get, do you, now, let me go backwards. Do you write your own songs or are you singing someone else's songs?
I write my own music. I collaborate with, a group of really good friends, songwriters that I definitely trust. I feel like I have like the main gist of what I want to do or what I hear really. And then I bring it to somebody and we kind of just fine tune it together.
Mm. And then from there you go into the studio, and that is that where the
Hmm.
real like magic happens, is in that studio, or is it really in that beginning creation piece? I'm always fascinated how different people get to the same end point, right? Like
Yeah.
there's always singer songwriters, they always go into the studio and perform it, but it's all so different.
It's kind of funny that you said that. I'll take Bed You Made as an example. So I wrote that one over FaceTime pre-pandemic with one of my girlfriends. We just couldn't get together, and I had this idea, and she also had this idea too, and we're like, we need to talk it out like now. So we ended up writing the song virtually, like way before the pandemic, which is kind of funny. Like we foreshadowed this before all the Zoom rights and all of that. We were like, oh, funny. Um, and yeah, and it's kind of funny because the song "Bed You Made" was definitely not. I don't know how I exactly pictured it when we were going to eventually record it, but it was like the chorus wasn't as big and it was more acousticy and just vibey. And then when I brought it to the studio, um, I don't know. It just like you get carried away almost. We're like, let's add this and add that, and oh my god, I like that, and it's awesome. And the producers that I worked with, Chris Condon and Lee, they're amazing guys, and they really got the idea that I was trying to get across. I was like, I want big drums and big production. They're like, I've got you, and they just made it phenomenal. And it's just funny to like hear like a demo of what it sounded like first versus the finished product. It's kind of crazy.
Is it two? Do you almost feel like it's two separate songs?
Sometimes, I mean, I feel like I look back on a lot of like the old demos and you're like, oh my God, this was just, it's just a couple little chords and, me singing over it. And then you flash back to this.
So did your friend that you wrote it with, was she part of the production stuff of it, or is that where it ended?
Um, we had like the same, I mean, it kind of ends there. Like the friends that I songwrite. So I wrote with my friend Haley Cardona this song. And we kind of had an idea. I definitely like to stick to like what she envisioned too, because it's her song just like mine. And then my other good friend Emily Davis, who actually helped me write my other song, Running Wild. She's a writer on that one. She has a more pop background. She's based out in LA, and it's kind of fun because mean, I'm a big pop girl too. So it's kind of fun to just see what somebody else thinks, because sometimes when you just get so much of the same type of opinion, it's kind of hard to, think outside the box. So she was like, no, no, I feel like I could see it going this way. So she kind of helped fine tune it. And then I had a better idea from that point on. And I did, because I like to have like a going, because you don't want to just sit there and be like, really, no.
I love that you pull in all the different opinions. I think that's what makes, when I was listening to your music, I don't like powerful, right? Because they're not all the same. Sometimes
Yeah.
you do get into a record and it's just the same song, just different story along the way. But
Uh-huh.
I think that's why you have these like ups and these downs in it, and all of this emotion in the music, and not just the words. So I gotta ask, did you write this song out of a life experience?
I sure did. Yep, I sure did. Yeah,
And
I've
when
gotten that
you
question a lot. And then the people that know these situations, they're like, "Oh, I see you." I'm like, "Mm-hmm."
Mhm. Do you, I never asked this question, but now it's like you are
Go
making me
for
think
it.
of this. Um, do you think of that person in that situation every time you sing it? Or has it healed you and you like kind of move on? You're like, it's something different.
In a way, more just like, oh, screw them. And it's actually kind of funny because I wouldn't say it's harder to write about your situation sometimes. The friend that wrote this with me, I feel like I hated her guy way more than mine at this point. So it's so much easier to write about him.
That's funny.
So it was like a whole vent session, I feel. Yeah.
Well, that vent session turned into something pretty damn awesome that is now on like my me playlist. Like, and on Spotify, I have just like a playlist that says me, and it's like so random. It can have like Andre Bocelli. It can have, Tony Bennett. It has you on it. It has like all of this. Like, if someone like gets into that,
I
I think
love
I
it.
said this to someone, and they're like, you, if that's what goes on inside your head, you are like whacked. And yeah, I'm like, I know, I can't help it. It's just like,
You're like, yeah,
I love
yeah.
all these different things.
And that's awesome. I feel like my playlists are all over the place too. One, I feel like it's a good mix of hip hop, 90s pop, and country. It's just random.
So what is it? What are you going to do now? Like, you're in Nashville. Are you in Nashville?
Yes, and I am snowed in. We're like majorly snowed in, iced in at the moment.
Oh, I know. I was there for a veterans music event on Friday, and I flew out Saturday, and my co-host, my partner in crime, we both left Baltimore. We flew into Baltimore at the same time, and I was going one way and he was going the other. Got on the planes at the same time. He got whisked home. Not so much me. I got stuck in Baltimore till Sunday night because of the all of that
Yeah.
weather. And you guys don't do well with it down there. You're just not equipped for it.
No, we're not well prepared. I haven't seen a freaking snowplow come down my street yet. I'm like, okay, hello.
I don't think they have snow plows, do
I don't know what they do.
they? So when you get unsnowed out, when it all melts away and everything, are you going to be performing anytime soon? Or because I'm going to be back there in April for a golf tournament, a fundraising golf tournament for my friend Andrea, who's running for the chaplain of the VFW. I have to give a big
Awesome.
shout out there for him. But are you going to be out? Because good golly, to see you in person, I can imagine I'd probably like cry or get goosebumps. I don't know.
Thanks. The plan is to definitely play a couple more shows. Right now I am in the studio and I am making more music to come out in the next couple months. Gonna let this simmer too. But yeah, so really just writing and recording and just creating more content. The
Yeah,
best we can do right now during the pandemic. But yeah, I've been playing just like smaller, more like writers rounds focused type of shows. So just
yeah.
seeing what we could do right
Is it
now.
Yeah, do you kind of feel like being a musician, a singer, songwriter, and a performer is a little bit like an athlete? Because I know, so I was a professional ballerina. I ran a gymnastics school with my brother for 24 years, and there were cycles in it, right? You had
Hmm.
your right before, you had competition season, and then you had the letdown of it where you went back into just like basic skills and things like that, and then you
Yeah.
revved up into your competition. Is it kind of the same thing? Obviously, a little different verbiage, but do you go
Yeah.
through a cycle?
I would think so, because it's like before a release, you're just working, working, working on emails and make sure that this is right and that is right. And there's just so many little things you got to get picky with beforehand, like picking your artwork and all of that. And when the release is out, it's like you got to still work and submit your song to all these people and hope people hear it, and all while still making. I feel like you have to kind of be thinking a couple steps ahead, like, okay, now what are we going to do after this and after that and after that? And our goal definitely is to kind of. I mean, it's really hard to say what live music will be like in the next couple months. But we just got to be ready for at least 2022.
Right, right. Yeah, I can see that you have a strategic pattern and plan. I can totally.
Hmm.
But at the same time, still developing and maturing your music and your
Yeah,
voice.
exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly, because you don't want. I feel like you don't want your products out there to be the best that you've got. You got to just like, how are we going to make it better, and how are we going to make it better, and collaborating with. That's the thing. I love co-writing with friends that don't always have the same exact style of their own. Just because it's good to get like a different opinion, and so that everything doesn't just sound the same.
yeah, yeah. I do like that about what I've heard. I didn't just listen to that one song, but that was like the one song that the first song I heard of yours, and when I was like, shoot, girl. Like,
Thank you.
but I do like how they're each all a little different here. And so you've got some cool stuff going on, coming out. I have to tell you, before I ask my last question, what is it like for you to do a music video? Like, this is something that is totally a new concept for me to think of like acting. Another artist was just telling me, she's like, it's like kind of acting as
Yeah.
opposed to performing. Like, what if you suck at acting?
um, yeah, I mean, especially acting is something I am not a big on. I laugh a lot. I laugh when I'm uncomfortable or nervous or awkward. So, not the best actress. I was very bad at drama school, class in high school. I would just start laughing. But yeah, my Running Wild music video, that one was a blast because it was more like partying with friends. So we all had a lot of group scenes, so it made it less awkward.
Yeah.
And we did have a couple drinks or so it made it less awkward. Bed You Made was actually in a really rundown motel. My mom was there because she happened to be in town. So it's 10 times more awkward when your mom is right in front of you
Yeah.
and you're just like, "Can you leave, but don't leave? Like, this is weird." And yeah, but my friend that actually helped me write the song was there with me, and we're just after you loosen up, you're just kind of cracking jokes and stuff, but it's so cool. Emma Golden, who was the videographer for the video, just has like a really cool eye. Like it was like little things like she was like, smash that the picture frame that I smash in the music
Yeah.
video. We did it from like, I like, here's the floor. I dropped it from like there, and the way she just made it look cool, slow motion. I was just like, okay,
Yeah.
okay. And it just it's just so cool. So like, you trust those people to have to just. I mean, that's what they're there for. They have a better eye than you,
Yeah.
and the vision for it all. So I was excited for that. I mean, you just have to trust who you're working with. That's really what it comes down
Right.
to.
I get that's a good point, because I was watching it and I was like, I don't know if I could be that serious on that bed and be singing like that without being like cracking up,
Awkward.
because I crack up. When someone's like, don't smile in the picture, just give a straight face. I can't. I'm
You
like,
smile.
okay. It's like awful. It's awful. I can't do it. And then you're walking and this whole thing. I was like, wow, she's really good, because I would be a disaster. I could do a goofy video. It's like totally just make faces, Danielle, and be stupid on it. Master class that. But I was really impressed by how your presence brought out the song too. So it's not just your voice, but it was the presence about the whole thing.
Thanks.
Yeah. So that's it. Trusting. That is something I never thought of. Trusting the people you work with.
Yeah.
So
I feel like,
important.
exactly. Because it's like, just do it.
Yeah, because they can see and just be like, no, that's wrong. Just do it this way. It's very black and white when you take yourself out of it. It's very simple. So it's just kind of like getting into a different mind,
absolutely.
a different headspace. Oh, cool. All right. So before I let you go and enjoy your beautiful snow day down there in Nashville, and this is my last question, and just answer the first thing that comes to your mind. You don't even have to give a reason why. It just is what it is. But in this moment right now, what does love mean to you?
Love definitely is honesty. I feel like a lot of people think they find it, or okay, sorry, let me rephrase this. Being able to be on your own and be completely fine, and then having that person just kind of compliment it, because I feel like a lot of people just get lost in it and get sucked in.
Yeah, I love that. It's very, very powerful being able to like be cool with who you are on your own, not having to rely on anybody else. And then you really can open up and receive that other. Yeah, totally dig that. Totally dig your answer. Yes, that is it. So thank you so much for coming on and sharing a little bit about who you are and your process of how you do things, because I think it tells a lot about the individual when we find out why you do it and how you do it and the mind that's behind all of that. So thank you for sharing. And everybody else out there, remember, as always, love hard, love pure, and love proactive. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.